What's up, everybody? Today we are breaking down one of my favorite paradiddles exercises. This is the Blue Knights DDL, and it's also been played by Broken City in their earlier days, and it's one of Mike Jackson's best exercises, if I do say so myself, one of my favorites, and it's just a real fun one. I played it back when I marched in gold. We actually played it as well in our packet, and I'm going to break it down here for us, and hopefully you guys can learn it too. Given my old man hands, we're going to take it down a bit in the tempo for the breakdown, and hopefully that'll help you as well. The written tempo is 176, but we'll go at 160, a little bit lower just so we can get the patterns. In this exercise, there's a lot of phrases actually. So the first phrase I like to think of as the first four measures, which are just open doubles up at forte, and we're in 3/4 here. So we've got 12 beats total of open doubles. Let's play those first four measures. 1, 2, 3, 1, ready, go. And the faster we go with this, indeed, we're going to want to get our forearm pumping. We don't want to only be using our wrist. This is going to get really stiff, and we're not going to get that classic kind of Mike Jackson approach that he likes to take, it seems, with his drum lines from an outsider's perspective, having not marched in one of his groups. But you can see what they're doing is they're really moving with a lot of motion and utilizing the full range of the body, not just the wrist, not getting too strict there, but really allowing the arm to open up as we're playing these doubles so we can just get a nice full sound. So we want to have that approach as opposed to this, right? And you can hear the sound quality difference, hopefully, just in terms of the volume and the tone. All right, moving on, we have these 2-bar phrases, and it's comprised in completely 16ths. We keep these 16ths going. Remember that 8th note doubles are the same rhythm as 16ths. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 1. We're going to keep that rhythm going, but put it into this pattern of paradiddle, diddle, paradiddle, paradiddle, diddle, paradiddle, paradiddle here. So that is a 2-measure pattern. You can think of it as one paradiddle followed by a single paradiddle, then a paradiddle diddle, and then 2 paradiddles. So in total we've got. All right, let's take that with the Met. 1, 2, 3, 1, ready, go. So now we have the next 2 measures, which are the exact same pattern, but off the left. So left, left, right, right, left, right. And you want to listen for where those land and understand where those accents land. So you could think in 8th notes, right? 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. Understand where the beats lie and where the accents land in relation to the beat. Sometimes accents are landing on beats, but sometimes accents are landing on the in-between beats, on the ands, and later we'll see on some of the e's and the uhs. All right, let's take those measures from 5 to 9. 1, 2, 3, 1, ready, and. All right, and it's going to be super important as you're playing through this phrase that now those low taps come down. So compared to the first 4 measures where we were up all the time, now we are not all up. Those accents are up, but as soon as you hit that accent, you want to play a downstroke for the accent and keep that stick down. So you don't want to let it rebound all the way back up. There's still going to be natural rebound. We're not going to death grip the stick. But at the bottom, we're just going to let our hands stop. And if you're unfamiliar with downstrokes, one of my first videos ever on this channel was about downstrokes. So I encourage you guys to go back to that video, some of my early videos, and check those out, those fundamental techniques. And on this stickings, just understand what the stickings are. Paradiddle, diddle. That's going to involve doubles at the low end, utilizing the rebound there, and allowing that stick to bounce. So moving on, measure 9, now we get some paradiddas. So we have a single paradidda followed by a tap 5 sticking. So right, left, left, right, right. But the difference is that we keep it all steady note, all steady 16ths. So that's the rhythm. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3, and you're going to end on the beat 3. Then you do that same pattern off the left. 3 E and a 1 E and a 2. That gets you to beat 2 of the next measure. So I would just practice that pattern. Get those down, going. Think of that right, left, left, right, right sticking as a transfer that gets you to the left hand. And as you get faster, the hardest thing is going to be keeping those 16th notes completely even the whole way, so that we just hear this the whole time. So there's a certain amount of pressure in the fulcrum that's involved, just a little bit to get the right amount of bounce, and not being too closed off, but also not too loose and open and slow. And one way to practice this is get the 16th subdivision on. So on my metronome, I could put on the 16th subdivision. Get that in a, I used to always do this, get some AirPods or earbuds, put it in my ear, and just practice doubles or whatever I'm playing and get it to line up perfectly. Get it to cover up the sound of that metronome. Now for the sake of the feel, I'm going to put it back on the 8th note subdivision. Coming out of that then, guys, we've got paradiddle, diddle, diddle, paradiddle, diddle, diddle, left. So we accent that last double, and that's going to be really important. And then the crazy thing is we take those two measures, and what do? We put it on the left. So it's the exact same two measures again from 9 to 10, but off the left. Let's take a look at the next two measures. We have this pattern of paradiddle, diddle, diddle left. So we have that accented paradiddle, diddle, diddle. Now we're going to accent that last diddle again. And we're going to do that twice actually, so off the left. So we'll go. And then from there we have two beats of open 8th note doubles. 2, 3, 1, right? 2 and 3 and 1. So in total we have 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. And that's a great exercise I encourage you guys to do, is try counting these patterns as you're saying them. It'll help connect where the beats land a lot better for you. But if it just helps you to really think of the patterns of the rudiments going on, that is fine as well. Just listen for evenness and for tempo. So from here we keep going. All right, we keep going. So we do that same idea again. So we take 13 and 14, we just repeat it again. So that's going to be 4 measures. Let's take those 4 measures. 1, 2, ready, go. All right, so moving on, measure 17. This is a little bit tricky here. So we have that transfer that we could call it, or that tap 5 sticking. Right, left, left, right, right, left. Or you might call it a tap 6, really. Whatever you want to think, but we have that. That gets you to the left to do a paradiddle. So left, left. And then out of that, we've got the same transfer again. And then a right hand paradiddle. So we take that pattern and we play it twice. So right, left, left, right, right. Timing is 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 1 E and a 2. That is a mouthful, but you just want to feel where that is. Dun, 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 dun. All right, and then coming out of that, we have another tap 5. We have that dun, dun, dun. Now this gets us to beat 1 of measure 19. This is where we have a left hand immediately followed by a shot that starts a paradiddle off the right. So we have left, right, left, left, right. And you just want to feel that as one idea. And coming out of that, then we have a paradiddle, left, left, right. So that's a mouthful of music right there, but I really think of that as so far 3 measures, and then we have one more measure of bonus here, which is this paradiddle again, paradiddle, and here's that left, right, left, left idea again. So paradiddle, left, right, left, left, right, left, right. So in total, measure 17 to 21 in slow motion, we have little faster. Now this pattern is so syncopated, it almost feels like we lose a sense of tempo. That's what's so cool about Mike Jackson's beats a lot of the time, is that you lose that grounding of where's the downbeat, but it's on purpose, you know? And it kind of takes you on a journey of syncopation over the bar. There's this longer phrase of an idea going on. So it's our job as the performer to lock it down, hold it down rhythmically so that it all comes together at the end and is seamless throughout. So let's try that in time. 17 to 21. Let's do this first. 17 to 19. 2 measures. 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Ready, go. 1, last time. So that's pretty repetitive. Then here come the next 2 measures. Let's take 19 to 21. 2. Again. 4 beats in your end. Last time. And I think maybe a common mistake you might have here is that you drop that shot in way too soon. Wait for that E, right? It's that E count. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and. You could get excited and slam that shot in early. Don't slam your shots. Keep it nice and relaxed. Just catch the rim and get that timbral change. Change the timbre of the drum. No big deal. We're just pulling back a little bit, catch a little bit of rim as we go. So now put those 4 bars together. 17 to 21. 1, 2. More time. 1, 2. All right, so moving on from here, we have some theatrics that happen here. We've got a quarter note release followed by 2 beats of rest. And in those 2 beats of rests, we do this kind of lead with the butt of the stick and allow the bead to follow it, and then rotate and just hit that nice, solid, spicy, tasty left rim shot. So 1, 2, 3, 1. That's what we want. This is way more swaggy than this. We don't want this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Very boring. Throw in that visual element to it. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Then we're gonna move to the gut edge. So after this shot, press 2, 3. Pretty sure we gotta get over here by beat 3. So we're gonna start at the gut edge. This is the top right corner of the drum. And then after that, we've got 1 bar of crescendo doubles. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. That gets you back to the center. So let's take those 3 measures together. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. That's what leads us back. It's kind of like a transitionary 3 bars to bring us back to our paradiddle and paradiddle business. Here we go in tempo. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. One more time. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. All right, sweet. We've made it to almost the end here. We've got 3 consecutive paradiddles followed by that 5-stroke transfer. So we have 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 1 E and. That gets you to the and of 1 in the next measure, which then you do the same thing off the left. So we have paradiddle, 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 right. So we don't quite do the exact same thing because we don't do the tap 5, but we have paradiddle, 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 left, right. So let's try those 2 measures. So we've got paradiddle, 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 tap 5, paradiddle, 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 left, right. And remember on the tap 5, we are not doing this. We're not doing da-digga-digga-da-digga-digga-da. We're slurring it and making it digga-digga-digga, all straight rhythm. Digga-digga-digga. Digga-digga-digga. university bound, right? Whatever you want to think of it, that's the idea. Let's take it with the mat. 1, 2, 1, 2. Again. Now, paradiddles are tough. Paradiddles are difficult to handle because when you're playing this accent part, you know, it's just straight dotted eighth notes, essentially. But the left hand has this tricky deal of having to go, right, low doubles consecutively. So you want to get the spacing of that accurate, and the most common issue with paradiddles is that the low notes get crushed, and it turns into something like that. We do not want that. We want to even it out. We want it to sound like, right, imagine you were alternating. Boogada, 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 boom, all straight rhythm. So hear that? That was bad. We want to try to even it out. Okay, let's try it again. Listen for that in your sound. Last time. All right, coming out of this, then we come back to this idea. Paradiddle, diddle, 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 left. So we have a paradiddle, diddle, diddle, accent the last one. So that's into an open roll. You can also think of it as just a paradiddle, diddle, and then 3 eighth notes of up accented eighths. So we should really accent it here. Then we're going to do the same thing off the left. Left, left, right, left, right. And on a shot, shot, rest, eighth note. All right, let's take those next 3 measures. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, go. Rest. So those 2 eighth notes are like a pickup into the next idea, which is paradiddle right, left. We have 1 E and a 2 and a 3 E end. So 1 E and a 2 and a 3 E end. And we're going to do that sticking twice. Paradiddle right, left, paradiddle right, left, paradiddle right, left. In fact, we're going to do it 3 times in a row. So, and then at the end of it, that is a dotted quarter, which gives us the opportunity to float up. So we're going to go. Now, when we played this with gold, something we would do is we would count those couple eighth notes in the gap. So, you can really feel how there's 2 eighth notes that exist in there. Because that dotted quarter starts on beat 2, and then the start of the next 16th starts on the, you guessed it, and of 3. Okay, so we have 1 E and a 2 and a 3 E and 1 E and a 2 and 3 and. Sorry, I paused there. So that second measure, 1 E and a 2 and 3 But we could just put 2 dots in. So we're gonna go. And let's just take that much for now. Let's get that. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, go. One more time. So a little bit weird, but I'm having you stop on the end of 3 because that gap is probably the most common mistake that a lot of people are going to make. And something you could also add is add the pickup, because it really, the full idea is 2 beats and then the eighth notes. 1, 2. Okay, and then coming out of this, we have a double accent to start a paradiddle diddle. Get the doubles low, and then come out with the double accent. Now for the music I've seen, it's technically notated as mezzo forte on the ending accents, but honestly, it's hard for me to tell from the lines that I've seen play this. I think most lines just treat those starting accents like the ending, like the ending accents. So you kind of want to go for 2 up accents on both of those, the start and the end. All right, and then we repeat that motif twice, essentially, almost 3 times, with an eighth note rest in between. So you could break down the rhythm all day, but you just want to feel rest, rest, but it's really 1 eighth note click. So if I was to put a click in there, it would sound like that, okay? And then we end on a tap. So this is tricky business. Let's start at 29. Let's take 4 measures. And what I'll do for you, I'm gonna click in the gap. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, go. And I could go a step further. I'm gonna add clicks in the 8th note rests after it. And you wanna really hear where those exist. 2 with the clicks. Now honestly, that feels really weird with the clicks, but get that feel of how that feels to float on each of those. There's just that gap where you just kind of get suspended in time almost. All right, and then the next line, we have the same idea. Da, da. But then the ending, we have flam, flam, daga. Now these are dotted 8th notes. And the way you want to feel dotted 8th notes is remember that the dot means that you add half of the note's value to itself. So the note in this case, it looks like an 8th note, but it has a dot. So an 8th note is worth half a beat. That must mean we're gonna add half of a half. So we're adding essentially a 16th note to the duration. So instead of just an 8th note, it's an 8th note plus a 16th note in duration. But another way to feel that is just, this is how it feels when you have 3 16th notes. So 1 E and a 2 E and, that's the feeling at the end. So we have 1 E and a 2 and a 3 E and a 1. That's the feeling. 1 E and a 2 and a 3 E and a 1. That is the feeling of the last 2 bars. Except we're going to play them as alternated flams. So we have and we really want to make those last 2 full. We've got 2 marcato marks extra big. All right, let's take the last 4 bars. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, go. All right, guys, I hope the breakdown was helpful for you today. Definitely take this exercise, break it down even more, take it slower, take it as slow as you need to start getting everything even and controlled, and then gradually build it up. If you've been enjoying the content, guys, really appreciate your support. If you can like this video, drop a comment below. Let me know what you'd like me to cover next, and subscribe to the channel for even more. We're on this exciting journey to build a community of marching arts and percussionists and drummers here, and I hope that everything I'm doing is helpful for you guys. So till next time, Ari Schiller out.